My name is Hamid. Today I'm working on this Miele wire. It's the T7634 model. I will be replacing this carbon brush. You can see this carbon brush. You only replace this carbon brush if you hear funny noises, abnormal noises, or if your dryer is not working the way it's supposed to, or if your dryer runs for a minute and then it shuts off. So I will show you how to replace this today. It's easy. We're gonna pull the dryer out first. Before we pull the dryer out, we wanna press on the door, open it. The model and serial number is here, T7634, and you will always have it here, and pull the dryer out. In order to replace the carbon brushes, you do not have to turn off the power. On both sides of the top lid, we got these two little small plastic clips. You use a flat screwdriver or your nail to pull it out, and then the screw is there. The screw that's here is T20. Looks like that. You have to open the screw and you can push it back in. And the same thing, you pull out this and then you pull out the screw, pull out this much and then push it in. You can lift up your lid just like that. It lifts up from the back. It's just like this. Look at these two eyes here. It almost looks like a eye. This black discoloration is part of the carbon brush. This is our carbon brush. The way you replace it is the first thing you want to do is you pull this clip out. See this clip? This is small part, the weight sits like this. It has clips on both sides, on left and right. You pry it up and then lift it up. If you're using two hands, it's more easier, and then the weight comes out. Once you take your weight off, you want to disconnect these wires. This one and this one. Once you get your carbon brush here, you see this opening here, you pull it out, kind of put a little bit pressure on it, it comes out. One of your wires this way, one of the wires this way here. What you can do is you have to cut the wires from here. Remember, your red wires on the front, the white wires at the back. Here's the new carbon brush. When you receive this carbon brush, it comes as a kit. I will show you the part number here. The part number, this is the part number. It comes with this kit. I never use this kit. You really don't have to use it. Otherwise, they're asking you to make new connections on the carbon brush and add it together. I cut these wires out, the connectors. I cut both of. Then I make a new wire here. When I keep these tiny connectors to add my wires together, I'm gonna add the white ones first. Remember, when you're cleaning your wires here, it also has a plastic insulation. You want to make sure you get rid of that plastic. If you don't get rid of this plastic from the wire on this, you cannot see it easily, but there's plastic in here. If you don't get rid of that plastic, see, if you don't get rid of it, it's not gonna work properly. So what you can do is you have to shave it off again. Here, look at the plastic. I'll show you here. You see this here? You really had to take this off. If you don't take it off, you're still gonna have problem. It's very important. And if you cannot take this off from the wire, what you can do is just use a lighter. By using a lighter, you can also burn the plastic from this. And on the red one, you can clearly see the wires, but you don't have to burn it, or there's no plastic on it. The white one goes to the white. What I do is, to be on the safe side, I usually add my carbon brush here. It just snaps back in here. Just like that. Here. It sits there. Good. I would always add my carbon brush first here, just to hold it in place, because just in case if it falls down, then I'm gonna have a hard time to pull it out again from the dryer. I have to open the side panel. You add both of your wires together, add your small moret here, and then press it in. Hold it tight and then press it in. Wiggle it back and forth, try to pull it out a little bit on both wires. Good. And now you can add your ground wire to ground. This red is your ground here. And then add another connector. Hold it like this. You can use your crimping tool. If you have a large crimping tool, it's better to press it hot like that. It's good. Play around with it, try to pull it out a couple of times. It's good. Now the next part you want to do is wipe your drum where the carbon brush sits. If possible, try to turn it with your hand. And if you use a wet towel, keep turning it until you get rid of all of the debris and dust from the carbon brush on the drum. See the way your carbon brush sits straight. And some dryers that the customer kept using the dryer when they had problem with the carbon brush, it damaged the carbon brush, of course, and it also damaged the carbon brush holder. And at the same time, it added so much force on this plastic on the side that now the carbon brush sits like this, not at the center but closer to the front, and that's also okay. You just want to make sure that the carbon brush doesn't sit closer to the area where this hits it, or let me show you another spot here. There's an open spot. You see this open spot here? You do not want to see the carbon brush in this position like that. If it ever sits in this position, you have to try your best to bring it somehow in this area, or worst case, you may want to replace this plastic on the side that holds the carbon brush holder in place. That's all. And then after that, you can, the way you're gonna insert this here is like that. And then the same thing here. See, it sits like this. And then after that, while you're holding it with your fingers, you add your weight back in place. See, it has clips on both sides. You kind of go in downward position, insert it and push it down here. It sits good. And now these two, you can always insert it right here on the side. You're good. Or if you're scared, if you want to feel more comfortable, what you can do is get both of these like that, add a zip tie here. You're good. I always keep it like this and I never got a call back. So it's completely safe and normal. You can leave it like this. When I order my carbon brush, if the carbon brush holder is broken, this is the part of the carbon brush that's breaking sometime. If you run it for a long time and it damages this carbon brush holder, I always order this spring, that little small spring you see in there. this spring. I also ordered this because sometimes this spring breaks, or sometimes it just falls down and you can't find it easily. Or just to be on the safe side, I always order this spring when I'm ordering this carbon brush holder. That's all. So everything seems okay. Use your hand on the drum and go a couple of times. Keep turning it, make sure it doesn't make any kind of funny noises. And the same thing, you turn it this way. If it's making any kind of abnormal noises, you may want to adjust your carbon brush. You see the way the carbon brush is held down is by this little smaller spring. After your carbon brush installation is done, you can turn on your dryer, power it up. It was already in on position, so start the cycle by pressing your start. See the way the carbon brush is in place? It's only aligned with the straight black line. If it's way off and it's making abnormal noises, you want to adjust it. You may also want to wipe this devil eyes from here, and it's good. After that, you can reinstall your top panel back in. The way the top panel goes back in, as you see these openings here, they get inserted right here, like that, and then you can put it down and add your screws back in. So I will also show you the screws here. See, that's why you have to open your screw halfway. If you open your screw too much out, if it comes out completely, this plastic piece that's held by a screw will fall down inside of the dryer and you will have problems. So that's why you always open your screw halfway and then push it back in, so this clip releases itself from here. And when you install it back in, you want to make sure the screws are in pushed in position on both sides, and then you can reinstall it back in. And when you tighten your screw, that's all. You do not want to over tight this. It's going to strip the plastic and it will also cause issues. You can add your plastics back in, just a decoration piece. Once your job is done, the carbon brush holder assembly is done, what you can do is pull where the dryer is, look at the back of it, do a little bit of cleanup there. If the ventilation hose needs to be cleaned, please clean that. Spend 5-10 minutes extra. That way you're not going to get a recall back and customer will appreciate that. So before we started working on this dryer, we had to open the outside ventilation hose and clean it all the way from outside to the back of the dryer. We pulled the dryer out, we cleaned the back of it. You can see it's looking clean. I wiped it. See, the back looks clean. I wiped it. So run your dryer with some clothes inside for 5-10 minutes just to make sure everything works the way it's supposed to, and then after that you can close your car. Thank you so much for watching my videos. If you guys have any questions, please comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like my videos, and share it with others. You can also follow us on Facebook. It's called Hamid Appliances Repair. Thank you.